Hey guys, it's me, Halloween Dan. Doing a really quick video today, hopefully, because I just wanted to update you on where I am and what we're up to. We've reached that point, guys. It's that amazing, awesome point. We're about halfway, we're past the halfway point in October. Halloween is approaching thick and fast. So I've been up into our loft and I've brought down the last parts of our Halloween stuff. I brought down all the last few props and things. There's a few items in there that I'm desperate to get out into my horn. But most importantly of all, I have brought down our animatronics. And I'm going to unbox and build and put one of these animatronics together because I'm desperate to make sure that this one in particular is okay after a pretty rough 2022 season. So let's do this! So we've got a whole heap of stuff, loads and loads of props and bits and bobs and things that I need to get out into my haunt. I have actually got more in the attic as well. But most importantly, all my animatronics are here. So we've got Lethal Lily, we've got the Scary Skeleton, the Dueling Banjo Skeletons are here. We've got, who can forget, the Headless Horseman is back. In the other room is my 10-foot Reaper. We've got our animated Phantom, we've got Jeff the Dragon, our Red Dragon, and we've got the animated Witch, our Costco Witch. Oh, and don't forget Barry the Butler. And it's this animated Witch that I want to focus on today. She's my oldest prop, and also she's the one that really had a rough time last season. So I really want to make sure that she's okay and she's still working. Plus, she is one of my favourite props, and she's like a classic. Without showing her being set up, this channel just wouldn't be this channel, to be quite honest with you. As I've said in many of my videos, she is my oldest prop. I've had her since 2019. Well, my oldest large-scale animatronic, I should say, and certainly my oldest Costco prop. I've had her since 2019. She's a steadfast, really good prop that I really, really enjoy. So last year, when she nearly stopped working and the rain nearly got the better of her, I was really devastated at the thought that she might not be okay again. Luckily, after sitting in the house for a couple of days, allowing her to dry out, she did start working again. And I don't know whether it was just a bit of a blip or maybe I overreacted. I'm still not overly sure. But either way, I want to get her out the box, make sure she's all okay, and make sure she's actually working. So I am actually going to do this in a kind of a bit by bit. I'm going to get everything out the box. I'm going to put her together in the stages that you're supposed to. So join me while I do this. So here are my Costco Witches pieces all out of the box, including her costume. I have to just say, I've said it every year, but I still think, apart from maybe Lethal Lily, who has maybe just surpassed her in this area, this witch has one of the nicest costumes that I think I've ever seen. The actual fabric, it's not cheap, it's not nasty, it's really well put together. This shawl that she wears, this kind of cloak that attaches to her, is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it really, really is. It's so well put together, and it's one of my favourite features of this witch. Then we've got all the other parts of her. So we've got her head, we've got the module there, her arms, of course, one of them made for stirring. There's the actual stick that gets turned in the cauldron. Here's the cauldron that comes in one very large piece with the shaft that attaches to the actual bottom of the stirring stick. Then you've got all the bits that make up her body. So you've got her stand, the poles that make up her legs, they're her shoulders, and that's kind of like these two parts together make up her shoulders. And that's really it. That's all there is. Oh, and there's a power adapter. That's really all that makes up this witch. She is really quite a simplistic prop. So now I'm going to put her together piece by piece, and we're going to see how good of a prop she really is. So of course we start with the base. You can't get stood up if you've not got a base. So this is piece A. We put piece A on the floor because that's where it needs to be. And then we get these two rods. Again, like with my Reaper, these are the next rods to use. because they come with these funny little pieces, which is where these sort of support struts go into them. So they click in, as so. 2 support rods go in, and that's step 1. Then we have 2 more rods that go in there and there. Then we need the module, which comes next. Just clicks together. And then we have her shoulder pieces. Now I will just mention that almost from the very first season that I had this witch, after the first season, you see that there? That weld has come undone. It should look like that, and it looks like that. So basically, this piece slots into here and into here at either end. That's where her arms should attach on either end. So clearly at this end, bit of a problem. So what I've done, just because I couldn't be bothered complaining about it, was basically her arm on this side, I just hook into this one peg that's on the other side, and I don't actually insert that in. Bit of a cheat, I know, but that's the situation I've had to deal with. So this rod piece goes next, like that. And then this piece goes into there. Then before you put her clothing on, this is always a good time to put the power jack in. As always, I always forget a step, which is this piece, which is like the waist. So you just kind of have to play hoopla there. And the waist piece just goes in this central section there. Now it's time to play dress up and put on the dress. Now it's time for the arms. We'll put the light on so we can actually see what we're doing. So you have this one arm that's really sort of floppy and just has this kind of weird prongy bit at the end, kind of hanging on like that. That is her left arm. And like with all these props, there's always a fun bit where you have to kind of feed a pool noodle with a bit of metal inside it up a sleeve, which yeah, doesn't always go that well. The prongs of that piece just slot into the 2 prongs at the end. This arm then just kind of hangs loose for a minute. Then we have this second, much sturdier arm that's obviously more solid. Now it's time to put on the head. And the head literally has 2 little sort of holes there which go onto these 2 prongs at the top. And of course there's the wires that control it, so this is the time when you plug in those wires before you do her all up. The head just goes into this gap. You line up the 2 holes with the prongs. I'm then going to attach the wire. Really, really simple with these props. One's purple, so you put purple to purple. Done. And then the other's this kind of red one, red to red. Done. Then comes the cauldron, and the cauldron, literally, there are some prongs here at the bottom which attach into some prong holes at the bottom of her feet, where her feet would be. And it's at this point as well that you have to wire up these actual wires that go up to the module. So do that first and then attach the cauldron to the prongs. You have to be a little bit undignified with the poor old lady at this point and lift up her skirt. Sorry. Again, it's really simple. The wires are all colour coded, so it's white to white. There's like a brownie coloured wire to a brownie coloured wire. And the final one, I'm not quite sure what the technical term is for that kind of jack. You can't really miss the other version of this, which is there. Then it's time for the stick that she uses to stir. The easiest way to do this, I've found, is by getting the 2 pieces, so the top part and the bottom part, leave them separate for a second. Feed the top half into this hand, feed the bottom half into the loose hand, and then join them together. It can sometimes take a few seconds to get her positioned, the hands positioned exactly how they look best, but once it's done, you're done. Once you put these components together, the only bit left to do is to finish getting her dressed. The first thing is to do up the witch's actual dress, get her all fully clothed. We don't want any naked witches outside our house. Thank you very much. Then you put on this sash around her waist just to give her a bit of shape. Then it's time for this amazing cloak, which just has 2 little bits of Velcro on the side here. So you wrap it round and the Velcro just attaches there underneath the collar. Can be a little bit of a struggle to do because of the arm. And then the final step is of course her hair and wig, which is this. There's another piece of Velcro up inside her hat that attaches to another piece of Velcro on her head. Not gonna lie, when it's windy, her hat always blows off, but the kids think it's hilarious to see her bald. And here she is in her full glory. I think I've said it before, she is just a really good looking prop. Yes, she's family friendly. Yes, she's maybe a little bit outdated nowadays. I mean, when you look at her compared to something like Lethal Lily, she's definitely not the most advanced prop in the world. But you know what? I still really like her. So now we've got her all set up. Now comes the moment of truth. Does she work? Let's find out.
When darkness falls around you and you hanker for some stew, witches, get your cauldrons out. We've got a batch to brew. Fill it full of tasty things like worms and wings of bat. Sprinkle in some lizard tongues and whiskers from a cat. Fill it up with dragon tears and heat until it's bubbling. Open up your book of spells and cast your words so troubling. Voila! Ready to serve. Anyone care to be a toad? Ooh, this brew is looking mighty tasty, but it doesn't seem right. Maybe I'm not stirring it right. Hey, maybe I should be stirring it left. That seems to have done the trick. And a treat. Happy Halloween!
So I think my question has been answered. She is fully working, fully operational. You can tell she's getting on in age. Not only does she look like she is, but she's physically older now. You can tell that some of the sensitivity in the motion sensor is not as good as it once was. That maybe her mouth doesn't move quite as well as it once did, lining up with those phrases. But in general, she is a really, really good prop. She's still working. She's still going strong after many, many seasons, and including getting very, very wet last year, which she definitely shouldn't have been allowed to do. She's still doing so well, and I couldn't be happier that she is still up and running and that she will be able to go in my haunt this year, because she really is a family-friendly crowd pleaser. Everybody loves this witch, and I hope she goes well with Lethal Lily. The only thing is, her actual voice and the phrases are that loud. They are very, very loud, that I think I might have to just turn her down a little, just so that people can fully appreciate Lily. That's the only thing. But, you know, she's a standalone piece. I'm really glad that I bought her all those years ago. She is family friendly and she's not everyone's taste, but I love her and I'm so glad I've got her and she's still working. Yay. Anyway guys, with all that said, thank you for watching another one of my videos. I'll probably do another putting together of one of my props sooner rather than later. Like I say, I've got to test them all anyway. Join me then and I will see you in the next one. Keep it spooky. Bye.